In the meantime, I'd like to make just a few announcements. As you heard earlier, the folk festivals are sponsored by South Dakota Friends of Old Time Music and the South Dakota Arts Council. For those of you unfamiliar with the Friends of Old Time Music, it is a South Dakota group dedicated to the preservation and of old time music and all kinds of old folk music. And memberships in that organization are just $5 a year for an individual or $8 a year for a family. And they do have a table back here, and you can sign up and get a membership. You will receive a monthly newsletter outlining the various programs and events that the Friends are involved in. And there's also t-shirts available for $6, and they're great yellow t-shirts. I think you're going to see a lot of them today on the backs and fronts of lots of people out here. So we do encourage you to become a member of the Friends of Old Time Music. And it is through their efforts that events like the Folk Festival, Sioux River Folk Festival, take place, as do other events around the state. So I encourage that. The stage, and then we're going to hear another set by a performer that you heard earlier on this afternoon. And while we're resetting that, I'll make a couple of plugs here. Once again, for the Friends of Old Time Music of South Dakota, and their picnic table is over here by the concession stand. And I also encourage you to patronize the concession stand, for those of you who maybe think that it's a commercial outfit that's running that. Those are volunteers, and they are volunteers of the group that originally put on the first 5 Sioux River Folk Festivals, and we're still paying off that debt. So your patronage of that concession stand will help reduce that debt. And if you don't believe the sincerity of what I say, you should know that that's our banker back there making the hot dogs. There are some people that we want to take a moment to thank, and bear with me while I read this list, and bear in mind that without the cooperation and encouragement of these people, this kind of a thing wouldn't come off. We do want to acknowledge the city of Canton. They loaned us the stage upon which we perform on today. Canton Lumber Company, they loaned us the wood for the dance floor there. David Skane and Tri-State Ready Mix. Yay! Sioux Valley News, the local newspaper. Ethel Johnson, that's Gainer's mother. I tell you what, Ethel gets out there every doggone year, as she has for the last 6. This is her 7th year. She gets out there and sells tickets to all her friends and neighbors and knocks on doors. Ethel, why don't you stand up? I tell you, this woman has probably sold a couple thousand tickets for the Sioux River Folk Festival. Thank you. Harvest State's elevator for the barrels upon which the PA system. Marty and all the Pork Boys. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Park Boys. Marty and all the Park Boys. It's terrific that the state park here allows us to use their facilities, and they do it all with a smile, and they are just genuinely terrific about helping us to get this show on and greeting you with a smile at the gate and all that kind of a thing, and it's just terrific. Marty and the Park Boys, give them a big thank you and a big howdy. Yeah, there you go. And Anderson's Furniture is the folks who loan us the tent here on the concession stand.